Hey.
Hey, Mr. Blum. My name is Billy Dorn. Hopefully I'll be a little coherent because just listening to the other testimonies kind of changed what I was coming to you with.
Cool.
There's been a lot that you've helped bond my family with Starscream, Heat Wave, and thanking Peter Cullen for that introduction because he's the person I met at my first time and got to know and appreciate voice actors in general through him and how my influence and the afterthought of what your shows, like how they affect people. I didn't get why, say, crime hit me as a kid. I'm glad I didn't get to start doing this until I was an adult. Like appreciating people I'm getting to meet, and through Peter, I've learned to appreciate your work. And like both of my kids, my son, although not severe, is also autistic, and we were able to bond over Transformers. Why is Starscream doing this to Prime? Why is he going back and forth? Why are they being nice to him?
It's always best not to ask.
and I'm sorry if I'm rambling, but it's something that I geeked out over. Didn't know why, but got it as an adult. Father figure, as a kid, single parent home, and growing up, something I could force on my kids, and I knew that integrity that you guys put into the work was what really made it for, I could maybe say for all of us, that it's what, not just what was on the screen, but what was going on behind the mics that really made it for us. And I knew that if you were a part, I mean, I didn't get into every show, I didn't really get into Peacock, but it's through your work that I learned to appreciate these other stuff that you've done. And I wanted to thank you and some of these other guys that are here that I might not be able to see downstairs that have really given me something to share with my kids. And I will be able to bring my family tomorrow. Hopefully I can get them to meet you. But I wanted to make sure that I got to talk to you and say thank you for having integrity of your work, in your work, and being able to share those stories and show the emotion that you have working with that. It's helped us just geek out and be okay with it.
Well, thank you for that. Thank you. You're right about what goes on behind the scenes. Transformers is a great example. Peter Cullen, I've been a fan of his forever. He's Eeyore. He's amazing. And Frank Welker, who's the voice of every animal from every Disney film you've ever seen. To watch Optimus and Megatron in that room work together, sometimes these guys have known each other for 40 years. And to witness that, to sit back in our chairs when those guys would go off, and they're both amazing comedians and impersonators, and they would improvise a whole scene. And everybody behind the glass, usually when we're messing around in the studio like that, they have to kind of keep us going. But when Frank and Peter started going, they would shut it down, and everybody behind the glass would just... It was amazing. I mean, just you roll out, and the whole room flexes, and and Frank would do a bunch of his characters. They were just generous, amazing human beings, and they loved to put on a show for us. And all of us turned into 8-year-old fangirls screaming in the room. So yeah, there is that reverence that we have for each other, and we support each other in the voiceover community. Like I was saying, a lot of the jobs that I had before were terrible, where people would cut each other down. A lot of that exists a lot in the entertainment industry, in film and music and lots of other areas. And the voiceover community, by and large, is a group of people who really support each other as though we were family, to the point where we'll prefer each other for exactly the same roles that we're competing for, just because we want what's best for the project and we care about our friends. So I'm glad that you picked that up, because that is really true. Thank you.
Hey Steve, my name is Demetrius.
Hey, Demetrius.
As a hip hop fan, what was it like to work with Logic, and is hip hop a part of your normal routine and what you listen to at home?
Hip hop, I kind of missed the golden era of hip hop when I was younger. I'm 58 years old, and so I kind of came into it really late. I do love it, but I don't really know much about it. And when Bobby contacted me through my agency, and he was 25 at the time. Under Pressure was just about to be released. And he calls my agent. My agent said, well, this hip hop artist is interested in possibly doing something with you for his next album. I went, what? A 25-year-old rapper is interested in my old butt? And so I said, okay, I'll talk to him, sure. And she said, he sounds like a really nice kid, just talk to him, okay? And so we started texting each other, emailing. Finally, we had a conversation on the phone. I went, oh, this guy is really cool. I'm so curious. It just piqued my curiosity. He lived 10 minutes from my house at the time. He was renting a place that was very close by. We met for a Philly cheesesteak sandwich in this crappy little dive joint. And he starts telling me about peace, love, and positivity, and his whole vision for what he wanted to do. And he really wanted to talk about bringing people together. That was his goal. Being biracial, he had fought from both sides. He had been shunned from both sides. And he really wanted to bring people together. And he told me about his vision. And I said, dude, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you want me for, but I'm in. You got me. I'm in. I don't know what this is, but yes. The answer is yes. So I go over to his house, and it's this huge mansion. There's nobody in it. I think Jess was there at the time, and Big Lenny is sitting there playing video games on his computer or something. And it's this big, gigantic, rambling, empty house. He goes, come here, come in my office. And I go into his office, and I'm stepping over a bunch of game controllers. He's got a copy of Cowboy Bebop up on the shelf, and he's screening Akira up on the wall. He's this massive fan of this. He said it got him through the hard times in Maryland when he was growing up. And he goes, so this is my space, and I want you to come in. And I had this idea about a themed album. There haven't been very many albums of this sort, and certainly not in the hip-hop community. And I just want to bring my love of anime and video games to the hip-hop community and vice versa, because these are two groups that may never talk to each other otherwise. And so I said, okay, sure. And so that night, he wrote all of Incredible True Story dialogue for me and Kevin, who's his producer from Def Jam and is also his keyboard player on tour with him right now. And then they came over to my house, and we recorded in my little home studio in a closet. And I forced Kevin into my little closet with me, so he's too grown, man, and he's never done voiceover before. And I said, you uncomfortable? And he goes, yeah. The chicks dig the Rubik's Cube? Yeah, I got it. Mm-hmm. And we just bonded. We became instant brothers there, and we have been inseparable since. I love these guys. I love the whole Rat Pack. They're amazing people. Logic is on tour. If you guys get a chance to see him now, he's finishing up his tour. He's amazing. Ended up doing the Everybody album with him too, a little piece on that, and a couple of music videos. If you guys haven't seen the Everyday video, check that out. Just look up Everyday in Logic. And I put on a skin wig, I'm an old man, I play his boss, and I'm yelling at him through the whole thing. It's awesome. So, yeah, anyway, thank you for your love of Logic, and I love him too. He's my little brother, and I will do anything he asks for the rest of my life. Thank you. Thank you.
Steve.
Yo.
So first off, Tom was the voice of comfort in my childhood, so thank you for that. And Grunt is my favorite Mass Effect character. Thank you.
Shepard.
Awesome.
Thanks, Shepard.
But my question is, for anybody that might be interested in getting into voice acting, is there anything that you would recommend or wouldn't recommend that you include on your demo or your reel if you once you get your website up and running and things like that?
Well, first of all, go to BlueBoxStudios.com. I'm teaching voice acting now. Yeah. I've been resistant to it for years, and people have forced me into doing it, but I'm really enjoying it now. I've been teaching for a while, and I do address those issues in there. Demo reel, I would say, is one of the last things that you do before you're ready to launch. And I think that's a mistake that a lot of people make when they're first getting in. They think, oh, I can do a bunch of voices. All I got to do is make a demo reel and start sending it out there. The problem is if you don't have the training to back that up, until about 9 years ago, by the way. So I brought him to a convention. There were 2,000 people sitting there cheering, and then my dad looked at my sister and said, oh, they like him? They know him? She goes, yeah, shut up and listen. So, but get your stuff in order and get rid of the stuff that prevents you from being creative first, so that you can just do it with ease. You should enjoy the process, and there's a lot to do before you get to that point. So If you're interested in voice acting, you don't have the money for it right away, go to my website anyway. There's a free 45-minute video with free 10 tips on how the industry functions. So you can at least get an overview of what you're getting yourself into before you spend a dime. And then my classes are like 30 bucks a month, and you get 2 classes a month, plus a newsletter, and the archive classes for all the classes that I've already done. So even if you only have $30, you don't have to spend hundreds or thousands of dollars. That's always been one of my pet peeves, that voice teachers will charge a fortune for people who may or may not get into the industry. And I don't want people to waste money or time. I want them to have a direct path into it that's safe and makes them feel good about themselves. Yeah. Thank you. You're very welcome. BlueBoxStudios.com. I have cards on my table. Please come up.